Welcome everybody. If it's Wednesday, it's a new PentaBAR, and we are welcoming all the 30 attendees for now. We're waiting for a lot more, of course, for a nice subject today. If anyone is interested in 2021 in SEO, this is the subject of the day. And it's important, I'm very interested in this subject because a lot of new things will happen and happened in 2020 also. Last year, the web has seen a massive increase in users, mostly due to the pandemics. And this led to the growth in online users, which also brought a boost in the number of content pages, as you have seen, and also events and all kinds of saturation on Google. And in this PentaBAR, Silvia Comșa, SEO expert, will look at the roadmap in 2021, SEO best practices. We'll learn also about the fragility of Google ranking and get up to date on how can we deal with that, and have a calendar also of important moments that we need to take into consideration. To better create a best ranking website, we'll pass through a nice agenda, introduction, the importance of SEO for businesses, and then we'll see how a good user experience can improve SEO. And then I like this quote that Silvia had for us here, and I'm quoting this in my coaching practice: help others help you, and we'll learn how you help Google in order for Google to help you back. And I was telling you about Silvia. We had a very, very nice preparation encounter. She's an SEO expert. She's been with Pentalog for 3 years, and now she monitors the overall SEO performance for the websites, as well as their compliance to the latest research engine optimization rules and standards. This will be a very nice talk. Silvia, welcome. How are you today?
Hello everyone. Hello, I'm fine, thanks. How about you?
Fine also. I cannot wait to dig more into the subject. It's very interesting for me also, as I'm running several sites. But I know this is a talk for anybody who would be interested, but also for coders and programmers.
Yeah, I tried to do this presentation a little bit more technical so it can be useful for the users, as 2021 is somehow dedicated to the technical part, and
yeah, because a lot of changes are happening there. I'm opening the stage for questions. Please put them in the Q&A sections of this Zoom, and we'll pass as far as we can through them. But if we have very, very interesting questions, we will keep some, and based on your registrations to this event, you can see a nice article afterwards, and we'll prepare for you. Also, if you stay by the end of the event, you'll have the tech trends that you can look. It's a more general trends in 2021. Now we're focusing on the SEO part. So we'll be talking about the importance of SEO 2021 and why the developers specifically, and not only, should be more sensitive to this topic. Either if we're talking about maintaining the website health, or working on the creation of a website, a new website from scratch. What's your take on that, Silvia?
I would like to share my screen. I prepared a PowerPoint presentation.
Great. Right. So this will help us to structure a bit. Participants are still raising.
Please let me know if it's okay, if anyone can see it.
Perfect, we can see it.
Okay, so as I mentioned, just to make an overview, during the pandemics, the people behavior in the online part changed a lot, since they were trying to work online more, to manage their teams online. The business research in general increased a lot during the pandemics, and Google for a while now is doing his best to to respond better to the user intent, and to show the users the most performant websites, and the users will facilitate the work for the user to find the best valuable information they can. So uh, to make a comparison, what makes the difference in terms of performance for two websites, it's first of all the high competition, because competitors and actors around the market understood how it works. So they were starting to create more and more quality content, and they were focusing on their website performance too. And as I mentioned, the content is the key. But to conclude it somehow, the difference between two websites and their results in Google, it's related to the technical SEO, which has become lately very important, and it's like the key to have your website ranking on the first page of Google. Okay. So somehow this period and not also let Google take the decision which websites are performant and which are not. And yeah, this is how it worked. And this is also a part of an introduction. I wanted to make an overview for the pandemic, since it's the most, let's say, the latest subject around the table.
Very good. I'm also running several sites, and I'm very interested at the personal level in that. So, and I want to know what to ask for to programmers and also some marketing agencies. Cool. So let's go further from here. Feel free to chime in and go ahead with the questions if you have any on the way to the presentations.
Okay, you were mentioning the fact that it is interesting and important to help others so that you can get help in return. Yeah. But helping Google, this means that Google will help you. What I mean by this part?
Yeah, I am very interested in that.
Yeah. So it's more related to the crawl budget of the website. Just to make an overview and to give you a tour, but what happened like 5 or 6 years ago, Google asked the webmasters, editors, content writers to write more and more content. So they were writing around 20, 30 pages per day with fresh content, which was not very well optimized, and it was not valuable, in fact. Then they introduced the notion of crawl budget, meaning the fact that Google bots are going all over the website and they are crawling the content and the code to see which one is qualitative. So the notion of crawl budget appeared when Google observed that their spiders, let's call them like this, spent a lot of time crawling pages and content that was a low quality one, and which was not serving to the search intent, which is now a very important metric that we follow in SEO. Also,
that again. So, what is the important metric?
The crawl budget. The website performance.
Yeah.
The crawl budget and the index one.
Index one. Okay.
And the search intent I was mentioning earlier. Intent.
Okay.
Yeah, the search intent. I think there is in the SEO industry, let's say, there is a misunderstanding between the crawl budget and the index one. The crawl budget means the fact that Google bots are passing through your page and through your code, and they check if the page is performant or not. And the index budgets leave you the possibility to rank your page in the Google search results. So somehow people tend to confuse the two topics, let's say crawl and index. But I think the crawl budget is more important because the index one will come right after if your website is performant. But yeah, I think that people that have a website or they are building a website right now from scratch, as you mentioned at the beginning, it is very important to pay attention to it.
That's very interesting what you're saying. I wonder how, if you have to prioritize between the two, index, and crawl budget, what would be a good take?
Well, you need to take a look at your sitemap to take a look at the website, at the URLs you have on the website, to remove them from the sitemap in order to facilitate Google's work to get through the most important pages on your website. And of course, you can track your performance. You can track everything around this subject in Google Search Console, as people may use who are doing SEO. It's a very important tool. And yeah, I think the sitemap is the one, the main one helping Google to understand, to better understand the website structure.
We have already some questions. Please put them in the Q&A in order to help us help you with responding to them. We can have a good rule there in order to organize them and to follow still the agenda. We'll address them, and I've seen some raised hands. Please, if you have questions, go also in the Q&A, and we'll take your questions and see if we can have mic interventions maybe at the end. I want to dig deeper, Sylvia, on this. So you are saying crawl budget, and in our previous discussions, you are saying that what's a good, budget? From where it becomes harder for Google to really
well, the best practice, let's say, will be to have a sitemap optimized, well optimized. The sitemap should be well optimized. And in terms of numbers, well, I think it's around 10,000 URLs that you should let Google crawl. And in this way, he will be able to go to the most important pages of your website. And in this way, your ranking results have more chances.
So if it's above 10,000 URLs, it's becoming harder for Google to really rank.
Yeah. I mean, it depends also on the website. It depends also on how it was built and on which technology. This is already some technical stuff that I don't handle very well. But anyway, yeah. If, for example, I am working with WordPress, and I think an optimized budget crawl and sitemap and stuff like this will be around that.
Okay, cool. We have two questions. One is a more general one, and also a leading questions. Is SEO the magic for finding clients?
Well, of course. Yes, because everyone aims to not pay for their clients. So Google Ads and SEO are somehow connected. But when it comes to the users, yes, it is a lead source, SEO. But in order to have it, you need to make sure your website is performant. And as I mentioned at the beginning, you really need to take care of the technical part.
Okay, good. And another question would be, how often should you index the site, or when after you've done the first indexing?
Well, the indexing, it's done every day. I mean, if you have a sitemap, and if, for example, today you add 3 new pages, Google tomorrow will come and visit your website, and he will find the new 3 pages. You just need to make sure that you have reviewed all the links that you have inside your sitemap, that they are performant, and you want Google to pass time to go through them, and they are relevant for your business and for your business goals, in fact. And adding new URLs, if you allow Google to index them, he will just go through and he will decide if the content is performant or not.
So why should we care that much? You have we have a more technical idea about how it works. I mean, okay, let's go further.
Yeah. Okay, so just to answer this events question and your question, why should I care? Well, I think the most important metrics for now is the fact that UX design became the most important, let's say, the best friend of SEO. It's UX design, let's say, because if you are providing to the user a good search intent, and he's feeling comfortable on the website, and everything you do is well optimized. In fact, everything is about being well optimized. So SEO plus UX, as you can see on the image, is a successful website. Also, as you may all know, Google went through mobile first for some time ago. So he's checking the mobile results first, and then he's going on desktop and tablet and so on. So it's very important that you focus first of all on your mobile results, and then also you need to optimize and to do better for the desktop part too. Also, it is very important to take care of the page speed of the website, because if you have a slow website or if your pages are loading very slow, this can lead to frustration, and you may lose the users, and then they don't become leads, and then you don't use SEO for business goals.
Mm-hmm.
Google created quite a steer some time ago, talking about the new update this year. So we will add the new metrics here. There will be a new Google update on May 2021, which is called Core Web Vitals. It will track the metrics related to the technical part. So I will dive in.
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Yeah. So they are very important metrics that everyone who has a website before May should take care of them, so that they can face very well this update, since it's new metrics that they want to check, and since it's very technical, so you need a good development team to help your website. As you can see, this one is the last one here.
Yeah.
But just to get you through what happened in 2020, we can see that in comparison with this year, the first updates that we will have will be on May, compared to January to 2020 when we started with January. These were a lot of core web updates, and some of them were confirmed, some of them were not. It's up to, normally Google announces each update, and they also announced what they will be tracking. So what KPIs will be affected in your business by the new update if your website is not performing well, or just to give you an example, if you have a lot of duplicate content, if you don't pay attention to the technical part and everything that I mentioned previously. So we had a lot of Google updates, and I'm pretty sure there were a lot of websites that were affected, because for the unconfirmed ones, there were discussions around related to the fact that they lost KPIs, they lost tracking, they had lower KPIs than before, and the unconfirmed ones were somehow done, because Google is always updating the algorithms.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's how it happened. But I would like to tell you more about the Core Web Vitals, since I think it's the most important one.
Yeah, go ahead with this. And what's that more precisely?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, this May we will have the new update, which will take care of the metrics LCP, FID, and CLS. LCP meaning largest contentful paint, FID meaning first input delay, and CLS cumulative layout shift. These are new metrics, and as I mentioned, really related to the technical part. These Core Web Vitals are the subset of Web Vitals, meaning I won't get me right in the definition, but it's the real experience of the user on the website. So it's what's happening when you go on a website on mobile and desktop, and how's the speed, how it's working, how the images are displayed, and these are the main metrics that they will be following regarding this update.
Okay.
We can take them one by one. I would like to present you first LCP, which is the meaning of largest contentful paint. This LCP, it measures how long it takes for the largest piece of content to appear on the screen. This can be also an image or a block text. you need to keep in mind that it doesn't measure the time it takes for your page to load, but it takes a look at sorry, so you need to keep in mind that it doesn't measure the time it takes for your page to load, but it's when the first interaction appears, how it loads. So if you, for example, have a simple web page with just a piece of content and a large image, this image will be considered the LCP. The LCP should aim to be around 2.5 seconds. What goes under 4 seconds needs improvement, and what is over that 4 seconds, you can consider it poor. So you really have a problem on the website. So yeah, this is the LCP, and I also think that it will be interesting for maybe developers and people that will start tracking these issues. You have some actions to reduce it. You can use PageSpeed, Google PageSpeed Insight, which is using Google Lighthouse. You can pay attention to the code, and you can minify your CSS. Also, you can minimize the critical JavaScript. You are asked to optimize the images and to optimize your server. So in order to aim to those 2.5 seconds, I think you really need to check these technical issues, and the PageSpeed Insights gives you an overview of other technical actions that you could take, which are more related to the development team, as I mentioned at the beginning. So a good developer will know what to do to save your website before.
What happens if not?
Well, you will be
so
penalized.
If you have a higher charging page, you know, I'm interested in, so you have a bad UX experience as a user, and you might drop out, you know, you enter the bounce out rate, you know. But then does this fit into the crawl budget, the indexing? How does it tie up to the Google is rating?
So after each Google update, if your website is not ready for that update, even though you had the time to optimize your website, since they announced it some time ago and it will be on May, if you didn't get the chance to work and to improve, like for example, minify your CSS, work on the JavaScript part and so on, you will be penalized. I mean, your website will lose rankings. Your other websites that were prepared will gain maybe the visibility you had before now, since Google was not tracking those KPIs. So yeah, I think it's not the best practice to lose what you achieved without wanting to improve your website and to pass it with
we have
success.
An insight here from Gabriel, who's saying PageSpeed Insight is also available in DevTools in Chrome, Lighthouse tab.
Yes, exactly.
And then Gabriel has a question. What about video? Are they also included in LCP?
For the videos, I'm not sure. That's a good question. I could come back to you with an answer. Yeah. For now, the images need to be optimized, and it is the same for the CLS part. We will see it a little bit later. But for the videos, I think it's quite the same. But I will take a look and come back to you with an answer for the videos.
Great.
Going further to the FID, meaning the first input delay. As you can see, it measures all interaction that happen during the loading of the page. They are input actions like taps, clicks, key presses, but not interactions like zooming and scrolling. A good result will be that this appear around that the FID be around 100 milliseconds. What's between 100 milliseconds and 3,000 milliseconds needs improvement, and what's over, as for the LCP, that's problematic, and it happens the same. As I mentioned, you will penalize and your results will be affected. Actions to reduce the FID will be the JavaScript. We all know that JavaScript allows us to create cool interactions on the website, but it also leads to slow website and with having a complex code. So in terms of improvements, as you saw, the three of them have in mind the fact that you need to optimize the code and you need to optimize the server and everything that is related to the technical part. So here, also in page speed, you will see how to do it and what parts of JavaScript you need to minify and what you will need to improve in order for your website to be ready for this Google update.
So there's actually a balance between the two.
Yes, somehow.
Okay.
Okay, and the last one being CLS, cumulative layout shift. It compares frames to determine the movement of the elements. It takes all the points at which layouts shift, they happen, and it calculates the severity of those moments. I would like to tell you a little bit more here. It's still the JavaScript part. Because you can see in Google PageSpeed that, for example, ads. I would like to take the example of ads, because if you are on mobile, for example, and you open a website or that's doing ads, you see, first of all, the content, then you see an image appearing, and then it disappears. And when you want to click, it's like it disappeared. And this is somehow a problem, and this is somehow an issue for the website. First of all, it is not mobile responsive, and second of all, you have a problem with the JavaScript on the website. Also, an issue, let's say a technical issue that developers do is the fact that when they are working on a website, even though they create it from scratch, or even though they are just optimizing it to help you as an SEO person in the team, they forget often to specify the width and the height of the images. So that's why it happens that your ads are hosted on the server. And if you don't have by default the width and the height of the image specified from the beginning, it happens what I mentioned. Your images, they go all over the website. The text is not appearing very well. So I think with Google PageSpeed, you will have also to improve JavaScript there, and you will find also other important technical actions that you will have to take care of. That's it for this update.
We do have a question from Gabriel. Yes. And he's asking, why does it apply to responsive images also?
You mean if you're using a plugin to optimize your images?
I'll let Gabriel maybe specify the context.
Yeah.
Maybe we go back to this later on. Good.
Okay.
Then we should go further, I think. Thank you for this.
Welcome.
I'm also thinking that the fact that they announced before the release, they're kind of looking at some metrics, that they want to improve. So it's a tech work to optimize them and save the SEO results website managed to get until now. What's your take on this?
Well, yes. The fact that it is not an unconfirmed one, I think it's important, because lots of websites would have seen a lot of decreases and their ranking results going nuts. And I really think that people should concentrate on optimizing it, and really the developers and the development team should insist on tracking and checking those KPIs, because I don't know, I'm pretty sure that everyone that works in the SEO industry is struggling a lot and tries to do their best to keep their website the most performant one. So yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, I'll open the stage for more questions if you have until now. and let's see how can we go further.
Okay, I just wanted to make a quick overview on the never rest part. And as I mentioned at the beginning, the monitoring is the key. So you really need to track your KPIs if you want to have good results. As we maybe have people that joined that are not developers, that are just from the marketing departments and stuff. I did a split of the KPIs. So at the left, you can see what are the general KPIs that we need to follow when we do the reports or the audits, monthly reports that we present maybe to stakeholders, maybe to clients, maybe to no matter what you're doing. And also what are the tech KPIs to which you will have to take a look together with your development team. I think it's important to have an overview with them to try to understand both parts, SEO and development team, how they work together. And since SEO and technical stuff becomes as the UX, the success, I think you really need to have discussions around the technical subjects and to find ways, and also to make sure that you're not affecting SEO while doing, I don't know, migrations and other technical stuff on the website.
So I'm looking here at general KPIs, which is the organic traffic, the search ranking, search visibility, organic CTR, branded traffic, bounce rates, average session, the duration, cost per click, and ROI. And I'm usually looking at this from a marketing perspective. And I know everybody tracks that. But can you explain more the tech KPIs, maybe?
Yeah, the tech KPIs. So lately, Google Search Console did an update. And for those core web vitals, you can have reports of what's happening on the website, meaning the HTML, the CSS, and the JavaScript part, the page depth, and everything that what I presented. You can find them either using page speed, either using Google Search Console. So you can use any Google tool and you will get the chance to improve your performance. Also, the website, what I mean by website performance is, as I mentioned, Google went to mobile first. You need to make sure that you don't have other issues with the mobile. You need to check your errors, because if people get on your website, they maybe want to convert, but your mobile is your mobile website is not responsive, so that's a problem. You need to take a look and make and create technical audits, like using SEMrush, Moz, Screaming Frog, OnCrawl, and I don't know, other tools that people tend to use. And of course, the crawl pages and the budget crawl needs to be improved, as I mentioned at the beginning. Page depth, meaning the number of clicks that people need to click to get on a specific page from the homepage. So it really needs to, it's really related to the internal linking and to your website being well optimized.
We're preparing to close, so I'll wait for more questions from your part. But before that, and some questions may be arising, don't forget that you can watch more PentaBARs here, and our colleagues have put the link in the chat, and you can have it there and watch all the other series and be connected with what will happen. Also, a feedback form is available. You will get, by registering there, the tech trends also, and a feedback form will also be available for you to answer. And next week, we'll also talk about, and our colleagues are writing to me now, about open source with Andrei Luca, and which is the tech lead for Code for Moldova. And we have some raised hands, and maybe we can give the mic to some of the people that are raising hand. So, Lucian, you can talk if you want. No?
My father, I think he did.
No, okay, good. Great. Good. So he was just supporting for the feedback then.
Yes, yes.
Good, great. So don't forget about registering. Have with Code for Moldova the next talk with Andrei Luca. This will be about the open source, a very interesting talk. And then again, stay with the feedback, and thank you all. We'll see you next Wednesday. Thank you, Sylvia, for the very efficient presentation and the overview that we have for the SEO part, which is also important. And you all get prepared for May, which will definitely put you in a better position to from a SEO standpoint and to better do this. Thank you.
Thank you too.
Bye.
Bye.